Thank you, Hailey.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and adjust so you guys can see my cutting board, so it won't really be my face on camera. You'll mostly see my hands. So we'll go ahead and get started. So this is the Southwestern Quinoa and Egg Bowl recipe from the American Heart Association website. Today, in the honor of Go Red, we are doing a red quinoa today. So I already have that started on the stove. So just follow the package instructions. Most quinoas you're going to cook as you would rice. So 1 cup of quinoa to 2 cups of liquid. You can use pretty much any liquid you want, water or stock. Usually use a low sodium variety, or you can take like a better than bouillon type item, and then plug that in with some water. And that's a great option to get a lot more flavor into that quinoa, because the quinoa really acts like a sponge. So I'll just go ahead and show you what the quinoa looks like finished. So the seeds start out very small, they're very compact. And these are a whole grain. They only take about 15 to 20 minutes to cook. So they're very small, they're really tiny, compact seeds. And then once they're cooked, they open up, they kind of unfurl. Let me get some of the steam out of the way. They open up, they unfurl. You can see they have kind of little tails. That's where a lot of the nutrition is, that's some of the bran and germ of the seed. And that's how you know kind of the quinoa is cooked, is it opens up a little bit. And you'll see that in all the red, white, and black varieties of quinoa. So that's done. And normally while that would be cooking, we'll go ahead and prep our other ingredients. So I have the corn already done. So that was a frozen corn, no salt added, which I already have cooked. And then I like to add black beans to this because it gives it a nice little plant protein boost. And it's great if you're a vegetarian, then you can omit the egg. But otherwise it just adds a nice little protein boost to the dish as well. So we're gonna go ahead and start with our tomatoes. So this dish really goes for 4 people. So I'm gonna go ahead. I use a serrated knife when I do tomatoes, because when you use kind of just like a regular chef knife, it's hard to get through that skin, and you end up squishing the tomato. So it's not really as nice, but the serrated blade really kind of catches that tomato skin, and it allows you to cut through a lot easier. So we're just gonna go ahead and do a kind of a dice on this. So we're just gonna take it, slice it down, and really kind of however big or small you wanna do it. I would say it's up to personal preference on the people eating it. And that's one of the things I really like about this dish, is you can do a lot of adjusting, a lot of personalizing with it. So once you've got it sliced one way, we're gonna slice it the other way, and then you've got a nice little dice. So I tend to not do the ends just because they tend to make the tomato a little more slippery and a little more likely to cut yourself with it. So I'm actually only gonna do 1 tomato for now, because in my house, we've only got 2 people. So I don't wanna do too much that won't get eaten. We've got our tomato, so I'll kind of push this off to the side right now. And then we're gonna do our avocado. So I've got 1 avocado. With that, I'm just gonna take my knife, run it around, twist it open. And then how I get the seed out is I just take my knife, tap the blade, twist, and then you get really close and just pinch it off. And so it's a nice, safe way to remove the avocado pit. If your pit is very slippery, you can take something like a dish towel and use it to grab the pit when you pull it off the knife so you don't cut yourself. Are we having any questions or anything in the chat that I'm missing?
Hi, Hailey. No questions yet, but I did have a question for you. So I know that we're doing a savory dish with quinoa right now, but do you have any tips or tricks on any type of sweet dishes or other options?
Oh yeah, so with quinoa, if it's something that's maybe new to your family, you can actually cook quinoa and rice together. So you could do half quinoa and half rice, as they cook with the same amount of liquid and they have similar cooking times. So that could be a way to introduce quinoa to your family if it's maybe a new grain. And then for something sweet, you can always keep that cooking liquid neutral and then use something maybe like a milk, or you can change that cooking liquid to like an almond milk or something like that and do that instead. So we've got our avocado cut. We'll just take our scallions, so green onions, sorry. And you could cook maybe like a porridge with it. All right, so we've got probably what, 5 more minutes? I just want to keep track of time.
We have about 3 minutes, I believe, Hailey, and I'll let you know when we have some warnings come up.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, you could take, so this onion has, this recipe has green onions in it. And then it also has cilantro. I'm personally not a huge fan of cilantro, so I did not get it, but it's absolutely something that you, with your family, if you guys are big fans, go ahead and take that and get that chopped up as well. I'm gonna go ahead and start my eggs. That one did not want to break nice. So even being a professional chef, sometimes we mess up and do things like get shell in the egg, but you can go in with the rest of the shell and pull it out. So I'm gonna actually scramble these eggs. You can do the eggs in a number of different ways over easy. You can do them fried. You could do them poached if you want to get really fancy. But I'm just gonna do a quick scramble on these guys.
Awesome, less than 2 minutes, Hailey.
Sounds good. These shouldn't take too long, but I'm gonna go ahead and drop these in the pan and then start assembling the bowls. So I've got my pan over here preheated. So we'll go ahead and take these bowls. So I've just got 2 bowls because again, there are only 2 of us in the house. Also with this recipe, you can take the quinoa and make a large batch of it. So I'm going to take this, just go ahead and dose that out into these bowls. And then we'll top with a little bit of the tomato, scallion, little bit of the avocado, some of our black beans, we may not get to the corn, but that would be your finished bowl, minus the egg. So you've got quinoa on the base, and you can really top this, make this with whatever you enjoy. You salt, pepper it, add any of your favorite spices, a little paprika, maybe a little cumin, a little hot sauce, kind of whatever fits your family's favorite spices. So anything, any last minute anything, or are we good?
Awesome, Hailey. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And thank you for the dietary options. We appreciate that too so much. We should be moving over here in just a second. So thank you guys so much.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining. I hope y'all get a chance to make this and enjoy it. All right. We'll see everybody back in the main room. Thanks for joining the event.